Hello and welcome to another episode of the So Here For It podcast. I am your host, Amy Minkin, and today we're talking all about packages because so many people came to my masterclass last week and they told me about how they really, really want more one on one clients. And I'm all about it. I'm all about you bringing in flow and being able to access more clients and cash flow as soon as possible. Who doesn't want that, right? So, I just want to know if you've ever had a one on one session, that person, it feels like it goes okay and it gets to the end and you're like, okay, I'll book you in for the next one. And the person says this, oh, I haven't got my roster yet. So I don't know if I'll book back in just yet. And they ghost you. Or they're like, I'll just book in online and then they never do. And I wonder if you've taken that personally. I wonder if you have ever considered putting a package in place that's going to actually create a structure around what you're doing. And that's what we are going to go into today and is what I cannot wait to share with you because it is what we go through inside of Women of Value in depth. But I'm going to give you all the juice today so that you can get this implemented right away. Okay? Like this is the most valuable episode. If you're driving, you're going to probably want to listen to this again once you get home because you're going to want to take notes. Now, listen to this. If you go to, let's say, a hairdresser and you want something radically done that you've never done before, let's say you've got really long hair, you've always had long hair, and you wanted to do like this full transformation. And you've said to the hairdresser, okay, so I've got long hair, I've always had it this length, I've never colored it, but I'm thinking I want to do something radical. Do you think that you would just go to the hairdresser once? You wouldn't ask her, what she's gonna do to your hair? You wouldn't take, like, the idea of what you want. You would just let her go? Or would you want her to say something like, "Okay, now are you thinking that you're gonna want, like, a bob, or should I cut it into a mullet? Or do you want, like, some layers put into your hair? How about we put foils in? Maybe I'm gonna perm it." Like, literally, she could take it in any direction. If you didn't get direction from her, would you trust her? And I want you to bring this into the context of your clinic or into your coaching business right now. If you're not giving people clarity, if you're not showing them what the clear path of transformation is, if you're not currently doing packages and you're doing these random casual sessions with people, that is why the results aren't there. People don't believe us unless we give them a clear path forward. And it's as simple as that. Are you giving them enough clarity so that they know what's happening next? And I get it. Like when you're at the beginning, it's like, oh, but have I ever taken someone through a full transformation journey? I want to ask you this. Have you imagined what it could possibly be like? Have you been on your own transformation journey? Do you have some form of evidence that humans can transform? And I want you to base your package around that because you think about the frustration of when that person doesn't come back. You think of, okay, all right, cool, I'll get another client, but you have to start again. Energetically, you've got to put yourself out there again. Financially, you've got to like wait for that lull period between this client and that client. But also, like, think about the admin involved with onboarding a new client and then trying to get them through then the next step. Like, if you already had this stuff mapped out, can you see how very easily energetically it is for you to step into? It makes it so much clearer for yourself, but also for them. So I want you to have a think about, has there ever been a client that asked you for a discount? Have you ever actually given the discount? Because that's definitely part of my story. Back in the day, I would give most people a discount. I just felt so bad. And I would be like, oh, I'll just give them $20 off. Oh, I'll just like discount those products for them. But what I didn't realize is I was just like taking that money out of my bank, basically. And it didn't do me any favors. It made it very muddy. It made the whole financial thing muddy. And what I mean by that is it wasn't clear. So the person was coming in expecting to pay X amount of dollars for the consult, knowing full well that when I recommended herbs, that would be another cost on top. But sometimes they'd pay this and sometimes they'd pay that, and there was no consistency. Can you see how somebody would be a bit like, why is it different every time? Whereas if you're selling a package and you know exactly what's in the package, you know exactly the amount of time that you spend with them, you know the exact resources and bonuses and if there's testing involved or if there's supplementation involved, you know exactly what is involved inside of that process. That person is going to say, okay, cool. All right, great. Sounds good. Because guess what happens? As soon as you give some certainty to that person, they go, oh, I've got some hope that maybe I'm going to go somewhere with this. So let's put it back into the context of getting your hair done. So you might have that one hairstylist and she's like, look, because your face is shaped the way that it is, I think it would actually look good when you've got it cut to about here, and then we'd be able to use this color, and she'd bring the color chart over, and you get spoken through the entire process. And yes, your hair is going to go through a transformation in that one session with that hairdresser, but it's going to grow. And then you have to know like how to style it. You have to know what products to use. Like, can you see how it's fairly similar? I know a different context, but you can see how if the hairdresser were to talk you through it, you would feel a whole lot more confident and comfortable with the process, being able to go through a full transformation if it were your hair. Think about it in the context of health or a context of business or life transformation for your clients. There is so much that we help them with because we do have this whole big ecosystem of what we offer. Most of us have multimodalities. And it's like, all right, well, how do I fit all of that in? You never try and do it in one consult. That would be silly. That would be overwhelming. And what I talk to people about is how to take things out of that first consult and piece it together later on. Usually people are fitting about 3 consults into one. So let's spread it out, give them a structure, give them a timeline, and give them the support that they require. I sometimes send emails to other naturopaths, right? And some of them send me an autoresponder that says, I will endeavor to reply within 2 weeks. And I'm like, what is going on with the world? I don't expect an instant reply by any means, but 2 weeks is a really long time for your clients to be waiting. I think within the week is fine, but like 2 weeks, if you're that swamped, like we need to bring some systems and processes in to support you. And this is going to support you as much as it supports them. Okay. So if you are in that one-on-one phase of your business, there is nothing wrong with one-on-one. It's just let's set you up to win and let's set your clients up to win. Because here's the thing. Most of them aren't just there for the consult. They're coming because they want relief. They're coming because they don't want to be freaking out that they can't leave the house because their period's really heavy. They don't want to show up to that event with a big bloated tummy. They don't want headaches every month. They want someone who's going to give them the solution to that. And that's where you come in. They want to have a baby this year. And this doesn't mean that you have to have package guarantees. So I want to just say that because I know that someone's thinking that. You don't need to have a guarantee, but this is taking them on a journey, which is going to give them a whole lot more continuity of care compared to if you're only doing one session. So that's where I'm coming from with this. We care about our people. We want them to have results and they want to have results. Now, herein is where usually the feelings will come in, right? So you think about like, I'm talking about you doing more than just having a service. The package actually takes them on a transformational journey, which has them believe that they will heal, has you believe that they will get the results. But herein lies the problem. Sometimes, particularly if you're new and you're starting out or you haven't had a lot of consults, or you haven't had a lot of clients yet, sometimes you lack that belief. And I get it. It takes a little bit to build your confidence. It's totally fine. But a package is going to be the fastest way to do it. Like, stop being random about things. A package is going to give you certainty. And if you've got certainty, they're more likely to have a great experience with you because you've got your own structure that you take them through. So follow the recipe. It's just like, all right, you've just got yourself a business recipe book from me. And I'm like, okay, well, here is step 1. Step 1, choose who you are treating. Step 2, let's create the package. What is the transformational journey you take them on? What is the actual release that that client is going to have by working with you? And just think about it in this way. I know a lot of people are like saying that the market is saturated, but it really isn't. Because if you're creating your own packages, it actually means that no one else is doing it like you. There is absolutely no one else doing it like you. So there is zero competition. I just wanted to add that bit in because a lot of people are put off with the fact that there are so many gurus out there. There are so many people who are running really successful businesses and Oh, I couldn't possibly say it the same way as that person. Good. I don't want you to. I want you to be yourself. I want you to be paid for being yourself. I want your people to be magnetized to your offers and magnetized to the way that you say it. No one else can copy you. No one else can do it the way that you do. And that's why I want you to package it up. You get to take them on that transformational journey. It brings clarity. And that actually helps bring that certainty inside the process. So I want you just to think about also, what is the state of health like worldwide right now? We can think about Australia, we can think about America, wherever you want to think, wherever you are. The state of the world is they're so used to going and seeing their specialist or their GP or just a generalized doctor. And you're only allowed to talk about one thing inside that appointment. But we all know people are complex. There's always more than one thing going on. There's always deeper questioning. That's the sort of thing that you bring. That is a really big point of difference. So if there's nothing else that you take from this, and this is the only thing that you're going to bring out in your marketing, can you please speak to that? That you have helped so many people already just by being yourself, just by being holistic, just by being a space holder. And now it's time for you to package that up. So I want you to think about how the package would be pieced together. So it's not just, let me say what it's not first. It's not just, all right, cool, well, I'll just sell an initial and 2 follow-ups and it'll be like the same amount as what it costs to see me. That's not how we do it. We want to think about, all right, how is that person coming to us? How are they feeling? And then how do we want them to feel at the end? And what is going to be the process in order to get them there? Because you and I both know a lot of work happens outside of the clinic. A lot of work happens outside of when they're seeing you. Are you somebody who is happy for them to interact with you? Would you have a WhatsApp number that they can interact with you? Some people would want to, some people wouldn't. Depends on who you treat, depends on the level of the package that they're buying into. Would you have some bonuses or some resources for them? Would you have a video that they could go watch or even some podcast episodes for them? There is an infinite way that you can support your clients. And I want you to think bigger and broader about how you could serve them so they can go from this A to B, from afraid to leave the house because their period is so heavy to I feel comfortable and confident to wear white on day 1 of my cycle. Like, this is pretty amazing stuff. This is amazing, life-changing stuff that we bring to our people every single day. Now, I just want to remind you guys that if this is sparking ideas in you and you're still kind of a bit like, all right, well, I'm ready to do it. Now tell me how to do it. That is where I'm going to give you an invitation. This is exactly the depth that we go into inside of Women of Value. At the moment, we are open and onboarding, and you have an invitation. You can go to the link down below in the show notes and have a look at the landing page. If you would love to book a call, come to my Instagram at Amy Mingan and you can book a call. We go into packages. Why do we go into packages? Because this is first and foremost the thing that's going to give you certainty. It's going to give you cash flow. It's going to give you results for your clients, which again gives you more confidence. So there is so much that I can share with you inside of this. Every single woman comes into Woman of Value. Those who are seeing clients, instantly, as soon as they make their package, people buy it. People buy it because it gives them that continuity, it gives them the certainty, it gives them the confidence. So if you have any questions at all, reach out to me. Would love to invite you in. And thank you so much for joining me today. I will see you on the next episode.